This video covers the concept of the relative folder. This is a foundation concept. We are going to go through this PowerPoint first, and then we'll get our hands dirty and show this in action. So let's start. Casttor has three types of templates. It has the Schedule tab, it has the timeline, and it has the Overlay Scheduler. In review, any video program has a start, main program, maybe some fill, and some end concepts, either graphics or whatever. The timeline editor takes care of this. The relative folder file is used to mark essentially where your data is. Now, we're using templates, and templates usually mean that they're universal. But if we are having data in different places, not so much. And we don't really want to create scripts or lists or anything like that that is set up for different folders and different MP4s. So what we want is a file system that is universal in that it's relative. And by relative, I mean if you look down here, you'll see that these are a series of my programs, and I do retro TV. And in each one, you'll see the folder relative. And you'll see that each one of these relative folders have the same folder support in them. It has a bio, which might be a text about a person, has some B-roll, some clips, music. OK to stream is the where the data is, slideshows, and other support material. This support thing I will get into at a different time. This is about metadata. So the relative folder marks the start of the data. So you can see that they're both the same. They both have the same contents. OK to stream has your data. The slideshow folder may have your slides. Different programs have different slides. So Captain Midnight has Captain Midnight slides, and China Smith has China Smith slides. But the same relative name is relative slash slide shows slash. But when we created these original templates, we drag-dropped the slide name into the editor, but it's pointing sort of absolutely someplace else. If we used a different file or a different folder system that didn't have the series, that wasn't the series Daniel Boone, we would be pointing at the wrong place. So when we load our data, it was Daniel Boone before, but it's Captain Midnight now. So what Casttor does is it looks at this entry right here, which is where you're scheduling what folder to play. If it finds the word relative in it, it replaces all occurrences in the timeline and overlay tabs that have the word relative in them with the new path. So G streaming TV shows / Daniel Boone slideshow becomes series Captain Midnight Relative slideshow. It finds the entry here in the schedule tab and changes everything in the editor templates. The template is really now universal because the paths are changed. One set of timeline and overlay template can be used over and over again. The templates become the look. So that's it for the slides. So let's get cooking. Okay, so here is the schedule tab, and we're going to load let's say Captain Midnight. If I run it, you get Captain Midnight, you get slides. And you'll see that the template used is SD standard screen. Okay, let's go over to China Smith. Different set, but let's Barney Miller. So this is widescreen. We can play the episode. You can see Barney Miller has that. But you're going to say, okay, we have different templates and da-da-da-da-da. Well, what we'll do is we'll go down here and load the common set, which is SD widescreen. And what we'll do is I'll bring, okay, where is it? Okay, I'm on the other screen right now. Here's so here is Dragnet, and we're just going to drag this over here, and you'll see that it's changed. It's figured out the different paths. We start it, play the episode, got the right slideshow, got the right information. We have Commander Cody. Run that. I just love 50s shows. We'll do, let's see, here's China Smith, and I'm just dragging you can see the MP4s into here. Does the right thing, slideshow's right. Okay, so you can see that you can use one set of templates, drag and drop different lists of MP4s, and since we're using, it has relative in the name, we will have slideshows come up correctly. We'll have bios coming up correctly, clips, B-roll. This thing here it just keeps track of how many times a file is used, and the stream. Okay, so you can see Commander Cody is the same, China Smith's the same, but you're going to ask, okay, you know, there's some nice things here. You've put in nice little folders for me, but you know, I want to do a portrait. Okay, well, thing you have to remember is you can do that. This is your data set, and it is a data entry. So I can do new, folder, and I can say P-R-O-T-R-A-I-T, portrait, and I could then go here to slideshow. Here's a portrait. Copy it over to portrait. And now I have a portrait. And I would do the same thing down here, but you have to remember that if you want the portrait to work in your overlay, it should be in all the different China Smiths, Commander Cody, City Detective, Doctor Who, love Doctor Who. And this set of folders you want to duplicate everywhere so that one template will work on it. Now, if you, let's say, don't have, for China Smith, you don't have any slideshow, then it will try its best and just leave a spot there that is empty, which isn't what you want, but at least it's trying. And you want it to do the show even if it's not quite right, because you don't want the schedule to stop. So this is great, but what happens if you want to do something a little more clever? So let's go up here and okay, let's do this. Okay. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so if we do new clip, it will choose a new clip. And you saw that it did Kathy Walters, Chris K before, Chris K, Mike, Marty Easter. And these are different songwriters. And if you look on this, so if you look here, you will see that you have artist equals Chris K. It has relative stuff. It has a bunch of Chris K stuff. It has a bunch of Kathy Walters. It has a bunch of Lenny. But you notice that when I did this, I was able to jump around all those different ones. So what this sort of implies, let me close this up. If I go to main program, and you'll see that it says comma coffee main program relative OK to stream. And if you go to main program relative OK to stream, what you see is shortcuts. And these shortcuts are, you'll see Chris K, Mike, Lenny, Kathy, all the different songwriters that I have in this group. So you can essentially, okay, where are we? Oops. We can drop a folder with shortcuts. So you can group your data by artist or whatever you want. If you're doing music, it might be classical music, it might be by Bach. You can organize your data any way you want to and then create a playlist. So this playlist concept lets you do all sorts of amazing things. So we're going to go down here to movies, and let me close this up so that it's not. We're going to go to movies, and I'm going to bring in the movies templates. So movies, and you'll see that I have 30, 45, 60, 75. And these are how long the movies are, 30 minutes, 75 minutes. So we'll do this guy right here. And if we, let's get this over a little bit. If we play the movie, we're going to play The Local Bad Man, 1932. Let's see. Clip. We're playing The Sign of the Four. Here's some music. You have some description. This is metadata, so explain later in a different. Sign of the Four. Okay. You can do a playlist and play it, and you just play the movie. New clip, play the movie. Okay, we'll stop. And so what was loaded in here was playlist 75 all. Well, how did I organize these movies? Well, I organized them by year. So if I come down to 1932, relative OK to stream, you'll see a bunch of movies. Then if you go over to playlist under all, you'll see a bunch of shortcuts. Horror, shortcuts, mystery, romance, sci-fi, adventure. Well, I only have it specified this way. So this is for 75 minutes, all the 1932. Now, what I also did was able to copy all these and do here is movies miscellaneous. Here is 1932. So playlist relative, sorry. So here's all the movies. Here's cartoons. Well, I didn't show it, but if you look at this, you'll see that some of these are sort of short. And if I play Betty Boop,
A saxophone can go.
Goofy Goat. So you can, let's say these are cartoons because there's 10 minutes or less. We will create a shortcut. We will Control X, put this over in cartoons. And if we just bring these cartoons up here and run it, there we go. It'll treat it like a a large full thing, but let's not do that. So okay, so here's 19. Oops. So this is 1933. If I do new clips, you see they're all 1933. So let's create a movie channel. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're just going to use 1933. We're going to bring over the player so you can see what happens. We're going to check, this is the time, today. We are going to say we want to do a block size of 1440. That means for today, fill up 1440 minutes, which is a whole day full of movies. We're going to start at 12 today, and we will go, I don't know, to next week. We want to run them on each day. We want to sort of shuffle them, and we're going to create a schedule. Now watch this over here, and watch this down here. It'll tell you what it's doing. So we're going to add a program to the schedule. It's making 12:6, 12:7. It's busy, busy, busy. 12:11, 12:13, 12:13. Okay. Okay, so it's made a bunch of movies. And you can see that since we set this program spacing at 75 minutes, it jumped 75 minutes each time. If we want to play this right now, let's Oliver Twist. We can process it from here. We want to do the next one. Sucker money, I don't know. Okay, so if we just wanted to go down the list and not pay attention to the time, you do process from here. If you wanted it to pay attention to the time, you would do run station. And it would generate a running the off-the-air program with the current titles and time for you. Now, we know that these clip sizes are, we're running 75 minutes, but here's a 52, here is 21. And this is a little short. So Casttor will fill in, this main program right here, will fill it in and everything. But what happens if you just want to, I don't know, do it differently? You just want to run the shows. You want them all squished together. You don't want any fancy in between. So let's go over here and we'll undo it. We'll change it to play length. And I'm not going to, I'll just do a couple days of this. And we'll add this. And you now see that this first program was 70 minutes long, and the next program starts about 70 minutes afterwards. And you can see that it put in this Betty Boop thing down here. If I do that, a saxophone can go playing all night through. The next one is just the movie. So with a couple clicks and, well, a lot of work making the original directories and getting the files and names and stuff like that, I can create a movie channel just like that. You want to see it for a month? We can do it for a month. So let's stop. We'll undo. And now we'll do it for a month. Okay. Do it for a month. So this is going to, see, we will add the program. We are doing play length lists, so, I mean, it takes a little while. I mean, gee whiz. You can see how fast it's making it. So you can see one day takes, a while, a couple seconds. Da, 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 da. Maybe I'll cut it right here. Maybe I won't. This TV guide thing blinking is whenever we change or edit or add anything, the player is saying, hey, if you want the TV guide, the electronic program guide updated, you need to take care of it because something's changed. Doesn't mean it won't run or anything. It's just that if you're depending on the TV guide for upload, that you want to go ahead and take care of it with this menu item. So we're 12:30. Okay, heading into 2024. 2024 is coming along. 1.4, we're looking for 1.5. And we've show all. And if we go down, you'll see we made movies for the whole month. Isn't that just peachy? And we come over here and update list. And that will stop it from blinking, and it'll make a new list with the current information for the day. So, we can, if we run the station, it will do the off the line thing. And you can see how easy it was to do this. So let me get this out of the way. Let me show you the organizer list. Okay, so this is the organizer list, and you can see everything at a 1 week later. You can, if you have the player running from this guy, you can select this guy and push to run, and it will make the player run. Well, it's picking the one before. Have to look at that. So, well, let's do this. We'll stop, we'll undo. Okay, everything's undone. And we will just do now, and we'll do today. And what you'll see is when I create the program, we have nothing for today. It creates it. And we have that. If we undo it, we start today at 17. At the schedule, and you see it only does that. So the schedule's sort of handy when you want to see where things are and what's missing. So, well, let's take it out of playlist mode. We'll go to the start of today. We'll add this. And you can see that it starts at regular intervals. This is more made for 30-minute programs, 60-minute, 90-minute sort of grid. So anything that ends up at 75 minutes doesn't work too well. If I undo it, change this to 60, so now it's 60 minutes, and create the thing. You'll see it's on 60-minute boundaries. Pretty good. Anyway, that's it about relative, but you really, really need to understand that any of the timeline editors, any of the entries on here, when you select the show and drop it into the scheduler, if it does see the word relative, it will change everything in the timeline and overlay editor to have this route or path, so that even though it was different in the editor, it is now this. Very super important. Well, that's it for now. I hope that explains it. We're good to go. Have fun.